Hey YouTube, it's Kel. I just wanted to pop on briefly to, tonight is going to be a pretty short video, but I just wanted to pop on to just share a quick, what I call a communication recipe that throughout the 20 years of me doing therapy, I developed. I think the first time I came up with it was really when I was working in addiction treatment centers, and a lot of people didn't know. They were kind of like, how do I express to my partner when I don't like what they're doing, without being a jerk, but also about getting my point across and getting my feelings across, and also getting solutions and not being like overly, too much, which I don't know that I believe in. But I came up with a succinct kind of recipe. Now, I don't think you have to necessarily tone it down with the right person, but sometimes in relationships, if you feel like you've had a lot of talks lately, or you just feel like you're tired and you don't want to have a long talk, or, but you still want to say something to get your point across and get a solution going, I came up with what I call a communication recipe. So, I'm going to put the actual recipe in, I don't know what it's called, but I kind of like a recipe, in the description box below. So if you want a point of reference, you can look there. But basically, if your partner is doing something you don't like, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way, an uncomfortable kind of way, hurt or whatever, disrespected or whatever it is, an easy way to address it is like this 4 or 5 sentence recipe that I'm going to say real quick. So you can either text this, or you can say it in person or whatever, but it goes something like, if you're going to text it, something like, hey, and then like a warm greeting. So like, or warm, you want to do hey, and then like a nickname or something that's like kind, so that you're addressing them in a kind way, so they know that you're not like pissed. I mean, you can be, and I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, but like, you don't want to be a jerk, or that their defenses are typically going to go up, so, and there's really no need for that if you're trying to be constructive, so I have done this the wrong way multiple times, so I'm not saying that I've been perfect at this. That's how I also know how to do this like well now, but so you do hey and like a quick warm greeting, and then you say, when you do X, and X is the behavior that you do not like from your partner, okay? When you do X, I feel Y, and Y is the feeling that you don't like, whether it's, we can name a million of them: disrespected, ignored, not valued, whatever it is. In the future, could you do Z? And Z is the solution, so that they know exactly, and that part should be specific. So, and also the first part of like X, like the behavior should be specific that you're naming, so that they know exactly what you're talking about. And ideally, when you address a behavior, typically it should be like a pattern of behavior, because, we all make mistakes. So like a one-time deal, personally, I kind of believe, unless it's egregious or like cheating or something, but like if it's like, oh, you came 10 minutes late, and I feel like if it's a pattern of behavior, you want to address it. But if it's like a one-time deal, I mean, we all get stuck in traffic. So, but so far it goes, hey, warm greeting. When you do X is the behavior, I feel Y. In the future, could you do Z? Z is the solution. I would appreciate it. Okay, so you're ending also on like a positive note. So it's palatable, people feel like, hey, she's giving me, or he's giving me constructive feedback, and constructive, maybe a little bit of criticism, but also there's a solution. It's positive. They're saying they would appreciate if I made the change. Like, ideally, this should not elicit defensiveness in your person. And in a healthy human being, they'd be like, hey, babe, I want to make you happy. I'll work on it. Like, cool, So, that was my chair, by the way. So anyways, you just want to, I'm going to say it again so that people can hear it. Then I'll give you an example. And then, like I said, I'll link it in the description box below. So you just say like, hey, babe, when you do X, X is the behavior, I feel Y. Y is a specific feeling. I feel discouraged. I feel sad. I feel hurt. You know, I feel disrespected. In the future, could you do Z? Z is a specific solution that you would like in the future that would make you feel a lot better. I would appreciate it. Thank you. I would appreciate it. Okay. So an example of this could be something like, and again, I'm shooting from the top of my brain. Could be, hey babe, when you come home half an hour late without contacting me and I have dinner on the table or something, makes me feel not valued or prioritized. In the future, can you just text me and let me know when you're going to be home? Thanks. I'd appreciate it. You know, something like that. Again, this is just shooting from, or if you have dinner on the table, you might even say it makes me feel disrespected if I have dinner on the table, you know? So that might even be an in-person conversation. I don't know. So all that to say, you got to go with your, how you're feeling, specific, you know, examples, or specific, you know, plug in the specific feelings and behaviors and whatever it is, and then plug in your specific solutions. But I feel like it gives a good framework for people who maybe never saw healthy communication in their family growing up, have no idea where to start, don't know how to, you know, also just get it in there in a way that they feel like is like not too overwhelming to them, and also like maybe not overwhelming to their partner. So ideally, no one's going to be overwhelmed with healthy communication, but a lot of people, we all just, you know, sometimes need like tune-ups or, you know, cheat sheets or whatever. So there you have it. I hope that you have a great night wherever you are, or a great day, and I will see you next time.